Interview with a Vampire. It's now the second day I've watched the movie again, done a close reading as I usually do for our movie discussion. And it's definitely the most I've ever liked it. And I just wanted to say this up at the top, that it's the most I've ever liked it. I think there's so much great stuff going on in this movie, so many great sequences. And still, I just return to the central problem of both the character of Louis and the performance of Brad Pitt.
Can I ask you, is there a movie about a person who is depressed that finds a way to make it interesting? Because if it's just about the act of being it and staying it, I feel like there isn't really an arc for the person to go on. I feel like,
there's
like we've seen like the movie, that horrible one about the man who lost all of his children in a fire. What in
Manchester by the Sea?
Yeah, not King of Staten Island, Manchester by the Sea. Like that's not about depression, but he is depressed. But I feel like he gets like he goes through a journey that ends somewhere different.
See, if this were actually about depressed vampire, if this were Alexander Payne's Interview with a Vampire, if he were Paul Giamatti vampire, like, oh, I'm so sad. No, what's the point? Then we'd have something. I think it's that he's an idiot and a rube and a sucker and he's wrong about everything, but the movie doesn't seem to know it because of the way Pitt is performing him. And I think if you subbed in Leonardo DiCaprio, Matt Stokes watching it would be like, that fucking little twerp. I'd be giddy about how much I'm supposed to dislike him and how he thinks he knows it all, but you know what? He doesn't.
So you're saying there's something so respectable about Brad Pitt that he won't let you can't feel twerpish against him?
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn
because
you, Brad Pitt.
He's playing it like so.
He's playing a grown up.
So here, I mean, okay, so I'm further along in the book. I haven't reached this part of the book, but I did read in the synopsis. Like
the interview part?
I haven't gotten to the interview. I'm really anxious to see what happens. So just like looking up differences, changes they made from movie to book to movie. And a big change they make is in the movie, or maybe this isn't so big, but it stood out to me. In the movie, they make it pretty clear that Antonio Banderas orchestrates the killing of Claudia. And Brad Pitt says it. You knew what they were going to do, didn't you?
And he doesn't deny it.
Right. And even if they didn't have that exchange, it really does look like Armand is setting all of this up to...
Once they get to Europe, you mean, and he becomes aware of him, or you're saying he's known of Louis since before he came to the continent? No, I'm saying
once they get to Europe, he is the mastermind pulling all the strings of all the other vampires, imprisoning Brad Pitt. And then he sets him free, and now all the other vampires look at him, and it's not like they're like, hey, he broke out, get him. They're letting him out. So it seems like it was all part of a plan. This is all the plan to kill Claudia.
What I don't understand is, why did he feel Claudia was in the way at all?
That's like a whole, I guess we can discuss that, because I don't think the movie does a great job of
Armand's intentions in general, his character in general. I mean, I think he's a sympathetic character until Louis all of a sudden is mad at him and knows things. It's like Louis doesn't know his heart or his soul or whatever. Claudia knows how to do that. Plus, I think it's a little sloppy that Claudia just all of a sudden has this talent now after 30 years and it's never shown itself before.
The talent to know people?
To know what's in people's souls. Like, she seems to say that, right? Like, not I can hear his inner thoughts, but I know his intentions.
She has clarity about Lestat that Louis never has.
She absolutely does. But I don't think that she vocalizes that to Louis very well, unless her whole thing is, no, I know Louis too. And if I tell him in advance, he won't let me.
Yeah, maybe.
You know? The powers of Empire has, how subtle they could be, I find that all very interesting, and I like when it's kind of a surprise, or that maybe they don't develop them right away. And I like that Louis goes years and hundreds of years without even realizing he had anything special to him at all, except for that he was sad and he couldn't seem to get with the program. Like, to learn one day in your 40s that your depression was what made you special all along. Like, really?
Yeah, but
with your Cheetos stained hands,
but and
your hair. Like, you mean it?
Oh, there's the DoorDash guy. Thank you, DoorDash.
He's getting a hug.
But it's only special in that, like, good news, you'll get to keep living. The central conceit here is, like, the curse of the vampire is that you have to live, and it's going to kill you with how bleak it is and how lonely you're going to feel.
See, because I think the other ones, maybe so, but I feel like the other ones seem to die of excess.
Well, that's
blowing their load.
But excess decadence is a response to this going on and on forever. to eternal life. It's the finitude of life that gives the meaning to the things.
The Donald Trump of it all, the Weinstein of it. But like I got all the money, I've got all the fame, I've got all the stuff. Now I need to do something weird. What else is there to do except for fuck with people? I know who's defenseless. Poor young girls. Get in here. I get it.
I was thinking like, oh, there's some Epstein shit in here.
There's some Epstein shit in here. The little boy is fuck up. And that's the big tell that Armand is not great. Is that little boy was his, and he's in the fucking stagecoach to come along at the end whenever he, come on guys, get in.
And it's also like the pleasure that you get from drinking this little boy's blood. That's beside the point. We just want to see you do it. We just want to know that you're fucked up like us.
It's all voyeurism. That was
compromise.
That really, oh, I got you. Right. This is so much more about like, well, get on the plane. I want you to be on the plane's log. By law, if you go into the air, we have to log you.
Yep.
And if you get on a boat, we have to boat you. So get on the manifest if you're really down with the crimes.
So your gift, your reward for your gift is just congratulations, you get to keep living. And, but there's no greater meaning to any of it. And that's an interesting idea on paper that I don't feel like the movie is able to make compelling. The book is more successful at it because it's all being told from Louis' perspective. But something about Pitt's performance makes me feel like he's not actually aware of what makes this an interesting character.
Like, how hard would it have been for him to just read the book? Everybody read the book. Or I guess that can bias you the wrong way, or... they seem like they were getting mixed signals between how faithful they were going to be to the characters that Anne Rice created versus what the director was seeing for the movie. So it's hard to say. Here was the source material.
I think the director gets it for whatever reason, in the wooden way he speaks, in the dumb expressions he constantly makes, and in the fact that he's just always giving just bland narration. And then I was like, we were two orphans on the sea.
But I want to point out, I love his different decades of dress, though, because I love that the framing device is him dressed as a Pulp Fiction character. He just looks like the saddest, most boring hitman. Or muscle, whatever the fuck.
He could be he's the third Vega brother. And he's talking to Christian Slater about Alabama. I forgot to ask, in True Romance, does Christian Slater and Brad Pitt, are they on screen at the same time in that movie? I don't remember.
I don't remember.
So the change that they made with the Armand thing is that in the book, Brad Pitt, Louis, and Armand, after Louis kills all of Armand's coven, he and then Armand go spend several years wandering Europe together, and it's not clear if Armand knew about the death of Claudia or orchestrated the death of Claudia or not. So it's ambiguous, and I think that's a more interesting change because I don't think Louis would ever be smart or cunning enough to figure out that Armand, just like Lestat, is a manipulative, mean, controlling man.
I for sure thought Armand was going to turn out to be the maker of Lestat and be the reason why Lestat is the way that he is. He is, right? Okay. They don't say that in this movie.
He says that he's the one who made
I don't think
Lestat.
What?
Yeah, they do.
I didn't watch it 3 times like you.
But do you see what I'm saying? Like the book, he never actually learns, or he suspects, but he never gets confirmation. Thinks maybe you did kill my daughter, but I'm still going to pal around with you anyway for years.
Well, what else is there to do?
Well, right. But
what's 50 years?
That's more keeping with a person who's prone to just seeking out people who are going to control and abuse you for years and years and years.
I mean, whenever Lestat wasn't controlling and abusing, Claudia stepped in. I mean, I know that this is his daughter, but she was in control. Mm-hmm. So yeah, he's just a wandering soul that needs someone to tell him what to do. And he's bored as hell. Bored and sad. That's just the worst two things.
And that's
doesn't even have the balls to just step out in the sun and kill himself. So really, like, your reward is you get to live. I don't know. Armand might just realize, like, that's the thing you don't want the most is to keep living. So I'm not going to kill you because you're too much of a pussy to do it yourself. I don't mean to be talking like pro suicide over here. I'm specifically for vampires.
Yeah, just for vampires.
Just for vampires. Like it's not a reward at all. He would have rather died with his daughter. He would have rather died with his daughter and his wife before he became a vampire. But he just keeps it going out of obligation to what? What is he going to like teach another vampire to be sad a lot? He's just going to be a big bummer.
The disconnect for me comes from liking the movie, liking so much about the movie, but when the leap has to come, Brad Pitt, you're so special that I just don't buy that. All the things Lacey just said, that's what makes you so special. And I'm still thinking, so what?
I get, but you're saying special is a good thing. I think special here just means you're different from these other people. That doesn't mean, a rotten apple is different from all the good ones. Special.
Then we have the tension of, well, then why is the main character the least interesting person in the movie then? Why? And I have to constantly hear him talk.
Is it a commentary on how selfish depression is because it's completely introspective and they are the main character?
Yes.
Everything is through their eyes. They see everyone at their speed or it's like too fast.
Which is why I find the ending so invigorating when you are finally not watching Louis tell his own story and Lestat comes in and takes over and he's like, I'm cool, Dad. And you're like, finally, something's going to happen. And maybe nothing that I just saw is true. Maybe Louis is full of shit just like Lestat is. But his version of being full of shit is I tell everything about how I learned all these lessons about how smart I am and how sad everything is. But you get everlasting life. The way to live is Lestat. You just got to fuck and kill and eat and have fun. There's no other. That's what you got to do. So the movie opens on the Golden Gate Bridge.
The movie.
It's kind of interesting that the on-screen title is Interview with the Vampire Chronicles.
Sorry, so wait, this is in California? I told the child this was New Orleans.
Well, the interview takes place in San Francisco.
Yeah, looks a little New Orleans-y to me.
Well, you can tell because it says Port of San Francisco.
I don't read things.
So and then it goes down, the camera goes down into a crowd of people. And there is an interesting thing where it's like, it's at ground level with all these people. And some people are like looking at the camera like the camera's a real person.
Yeah.
And then the camera swoops up like it is a vampire, like a lurking presence observing everything. Maybe the camera literally is supposed to be Lestat.
I like that.
But
that's very Lost Boys. Lost Boys does that a lot. Like you fly with the first person perspective
with the
them.
camera. Okay. Yeah, something very very easy like film semiotics to make you feel like a vampire is I get to move in all these weird ways that I wouldn't get to move otherwise.
The whole thing that I say with like, give me $1 million and I'll give you me making a crime happen on accident. It's just such an interesting, I just feel like it's so easy to accidentally commit a crime when you've got a lot of access to things, money or abilities. Like I can literally fly from this street to this street. What is stopping me from just punching a small child in the face and then flying to another street? It has nothing to do with me.
The answer
Kicking a dog.
Yes, the answer is nothing stopping you, and you would. And that's why Brad Pitt's so annoying in this movie. It's like, but I'm so moral.
He can't do anything. He doesn't get any power.
Also, not moral enough to free your slaves.
Also, he just walks around. He's not fast. He doesn't even know he's special. He can't like fucking know things in a different way than other people. Like he can't do what Lestat does. Mm-hmm. They don't show him being super powerful and strong ever, do they?
Only in the very last scene with Christian Slater when he gets mad at Christian Slater. And I also don't buy that part. Now I'm angry at you. Have you learned nothing from my amazing story? And Christian Slater's like, whoa, man, put me down on the ground. I don't know. And so we're 20 seconds in.
For Golden Gate Bridge. All right.
We meet Brad Pitt in his hangar. Do you want to tell me the story of my life?
See, I find Christian Slater convinced that man's a vampire way too fast. All he did was turn on the lights. But he moves fast to turn on the lights. Like, whoa.
I guess.
You ran. You sprinted your ass off. And the thing with these vampires is like they're all very good looking, typically. But they have these veins that you can see. That's it. That's the makeup.
That's the sign of a vampire is a vein.
I love a vein.
Christian Slater. So Christian Slater.
You gotta know what to ask him about me. I really want to get the impression.
I know,
down.
Because I either do Jack Nicholson or do a.
That's what I was doing just now.
He's like, you want to
telling me?
You want me to tell you the story of my life?
Because I feel like he's doing a Jack Nicholson impression.
That's Christian Slater's whole thing is that he's Jack Nicholson.
He even like puts his hair back, I just sound like I'm crawling from underneath a staircase though.
He's like, that's what I do. I interview people. I'm a collector of
stories.
He's like, you followed me here, didn't you? So he's a reporter. He works for public radio. And this is some public radio shit. Is I just like interview people and they tell me about their lives and then people listen to it. Like, yeah, you could never put this on the radio for profit because no one would care.
It usually leads to ass, cash, or grass. In this case,
It led
none
me
of those
to,
things.
It led me to
crash.
Oh,
I went crash.
It's true. It does lead him to crash. All right.
I like
what do you do? I'm a vampire.
Matt, you cannot switch between these the whole time. Is that what's going to happen? You know what? I always end up liking your voices much more while I'm listening to the episode than in person. So
I know. It's
do what you will.
A lot of fun.
Oh, okay. If you do say so yourself.
I mean, just the fact that Brad Pitt, that Louis wants to tell his story, I feel like tells you a lot about him. Is he's like your influencer boss who's like, I got a lot of wisdom I've learned from being a personal injury attorney for 13 years.
How many hundreds of years does he need to walk the earth before he decides to tell this story? Or are you under impression this is like the fifth guy he's grabbed and Lestat's like, come on, again? Is that why Lestat's flying around following him? Like, this guy's got a little pin and a little pad.
I love
there he goes again.
I love that. I mean, Lestat at
Tell
the end
our secrets.
Is very much acting like this is the first time he has done this, but it would be fun if he's like, Brad Pitt's always telling some reporter the whole.
Well, he's trying to blow us up, right? He's trying to make people aware that we exist so that like when crimes are happening, there's only so many places in a city you can go drain a couple people dry every single night and not eventually have to move. That's such a pain in the ass. You don't have special moving discounts or whatever. You got to get a U-Haul just like everybody else. You got to pack all your shit just like everybody else. I'm just saying, moving to a new town, it's not nothing. No. So I don't need this fucking sad vampire who hates our kind telling everyone about us, making it real hard for us to fucking have a good time. I'll bet that is what he does.
And
You're rat.
And I'm very much on the side of whoever is against
Sucking
Louis for
those
that
rats.
very reason. Yes.
He's eaten so many of them that he's become one.
So I was waiting for you. I was watching you watch me. And Christian Slater's like, what were you going to do? Kill me, drink my blood, that sort of stuff. So Louis convinces him very fast that he's a vampire. I mean, you say that Christian Slater's convinced way too fast, but it is the thing of you're watching a movie and you don't want so much shoe leather to be spit on.
Sure.
Come on, I don't believe it.
Yeah, no, I'm thankful in the long run. But it's so fast because it's done with the lights off. Like the trick is that he turns the lights on real fast. But that's also a smart little trick, meaning they didn't have to do any special work to show his trick happened in the dark. You just have to believe Christian Slater.
So the story begins. And in the novel, I told you about the weird way the story is told in the novel, where it's in third person, but most of the book is is literally just dialogue between these two. So it's Louis just telling his story out loud to the reporter,
leaving it to the reader to just picture it all.
Right.
So he's not describing anything that tells us what people look like. Claudia's hair.
I mean, if he chooses, sometimes he will, but it's like it's not as if the book will then like switch to a third person or a first person perspective. It is always, you are always just listening to their conversation. And the book always refers to him as the vampire and the Christian Slater character as the boy. Isn't it interesting?
Boy.
Yeah. It's interesting that it's Interview with the Vampire and not a vampire.
It does make it seem like he's the last one.
Yeah.
Interview with the...
Which I always thought it was Interview with a Vampire.
Oh, yeah. Until you just said that, I did not know.
Oh, okay.
Interview with the Vampire. Yeah. The Vampire. Well, maybe it's the only one he ever met. But that's not true. Well, it's the only one he ever met and could write it down. He died right after the other one. Yeah, I think this is maybe the first time I felt so acutely that this is a plantation owner. And watching Django Unchained 2 days before this really made for a weird juxtaposition of who the fuck am I rooting for? I mean, I think I'm always rooting for the slaves, but like the way, so I'm just aggravated. I'm aggravated in Django Unchained. I'm aggravated in this. When the white man like heroically announces you're all free, according to who? You just announced it. We don't have any paperwork. I'm as low as I can be on the fucking Mississippi coast of Louisiana. You know how far I need to go for some like-minded individuals? And even then, how am I proving? We can't all be Morgan Freeman. We can't all change our last names. How am I proving this?
Especially the way it happens here, where the building is burning down. You're all free.
You could have just lived in this fucking building. Although then they'd be accused of killing their master, although they would be anyway. You can't find them anymore.
There's a way you free slaves. You know, George Washington... I was thinking Louis kind of a George Washington.
Okay. I don't feel like being the president, but I guess I'm the president.
Well, yeah, kind of. So
I just did Christian Slater for
you know,
I guess
George Washington owned slaves. Thomas Jefferson owned slaves. Now, you may be like, well, they didn't know any better. Oh, no, they wrote extensively about how they knew it was wrong. It was a moral abomination. But they feel, what's the key word here?
Guilty.
Conflicted. Guilty. Oh, I feel so bad for them. I don't know.
But if I didn't have them, I wouldn't have the power I had in which to tell people how bad slavery is. Without all my helpers here, I would be doing all the labor and wouldn't have any time to tell everyone how bad all the labor helpers have it.
And so George Washington literally freed his slaves when he died in his will. When I can get not a second more use out of you than you're free.
But at least there's fucking paperwork. I just feel like you should have to announce it on TV. And there was no TV then. So that is a problem. Like you need to know they need to have first and last names. They need at least some sort of number that is official. God forbid it's a social security number or wherever that happens.
Well, there actually are like legal instruments you could draw up to do this. It is interesting.
A bill of sale.
Yes. It's ghoulish to say, but they were legally property.
That is what they used in Django Unchained, and that they literally had freedom papers. Now, who can you get to respect these papers? It's the freaking men that are out there like transporting people back and forth who can't read that I'm going to like hand these papers to. No, I trust a white man now. Let me show you my papers. God, that we still do shit like this today.
This movie's attitude, I think Anne Rice, her heart was in the right place. She's a woman who grew up in New Orleans and knew slavery was wrong, but also is like, yeah, but like his slaves like him. They're nice to they worry about him. They say
the indoor girl does, I guess, but like
she talks about how they're worried. The other slaves are worried about you. They're worried for you. They need their master. And I know that the household like slave is going to be different in attitude, but I think that this attitude is kind of like, well, he was one of the good ones. He was one of the good slave owners.
But then that goes to say, if you are going to be bought by someone and then have to work someone's property in the Louisiana heat, and at least this guy's not mean to you, and he does not like encourage people who are in charge of watching to kill, and he's not a Lestat. He's not like, do something weird to that one. Now I'm going to rape this one. He does seem to like to have sex with the one that's inside. But what my point is, I could see you as a slave who feeling like that's all that's going to happen with your life, hoping that this situation stays just like this. And when the wife and the child dies and it's just this depressed guy, I can see you feeling like, oh, okay, I guess I'm going to have to fucking get used to a whole other living condition, split up with my friends and family. Like, yeah, I'd say the slaves are invested in their owner not going fucking insane if they're not going to be freed and then taken to safety. And what does safety even look at? Like they don't have money. Oh, this makes me crazy.
Setting it here in 1791, he says, I was the master of a large plantation just south of New Orleans. He always says New Orleans, which some people from New Orleans, some older people call it that, New Orleans.
It didn't bother me. It didn't stand out.
The exterior of the plantation was filmed at Oak Alley Plantation in Vacherie. The interior is Destrehan Plantation, where I went on several field trips.
And that's the one I went to a wedding to.
Yeah. That's the big one. But 1791, this is kind of before the era of like like in the book, he says, he's talking to Christian Slater and he's like, now these weren't the slaves like from movies. They were literally from Africa. The transatlantic slave trade closed in 1798, I believe. From then on, all slaves like were born in America.
Okay.
And this was before the takeoff of like the giant cotton plantations. So even though he has a large plantation, you can think of him as kind of like a small businessman.
Yeah. Right. There's not a crop. There's just a land to work.
And I think that also contrasts him with Lestat, who's supposed to be an old European aristocrat.
Okay.
Even though Tom Cruise doesn't really play him that way. But I think that their kind of different outlooks on life come from their class positions.
Sure.
Where Brad Pitt actually thinks he's like doing good in the world, and Tom Cruise is jaded enough to realize, no, we're not.
Wait, would you call this early slavery then, or mid, or late?
This is just before like the
super cruel like almost industrialization
industrial
of it?
scale slavery
Okay.
Of cotton, which is a very, very dangerous. Crop to work.
Right.
This also is very cruel and horrible too, but I think that it's deliberate setting it here, not setting it in Virginia or Mississippi, and setting it in the 1790s rather than the 1840s is a deliberate choice, I think, to mark him as like before the truly became like the historical all-time monstrosity that it would become.
Okay.
Again, not saying it isn't monstrous and immoral here too.
But they're trying to save him a little bit of face here. We can't start off with Louis a monster.
Yeah, he can't literally be like an old Southern colonel, like sitting on a cotton plantation. Right. But still, I brought up George Washington to illustrate people at the time knew it was wrong. Slave owners themselves would say like, oh, this is very wrong what I am doing, but I will continue to do it. And this moral man never says like, maybe I should not be doing this anymore.
Right. Like at least like fucking address it. It is strange. I don't know if in the book if it's ever addressed.
Nope. So he has lost his wife and child while she gave birth. That's a big change from the book. In the book, he didn't have a wife. He had a brother who died. So this is supposed to be a bigger loss. And he just wanted to lose it all, his wealth, his estate, his sanity. But we see him like deliberately cheat at cards and then tells the guy he cheats like, come on, shoot me in the chest. And the guy won't.
Right. Like they're trying to give a couple just of examples of him being reckless. And I'm like, Bella could do better. She at least gets on the back of a motorcycle. Like she goes cliff diving. You're just taking your shirt off in a bar where everyone thinks you're hot. Like not impressed, Brad.
Bella, put your seatbelt on. And then we see Tom Cruise as Lestat taking in the scene. Like that guy. Something about that guy.
He seems just desperate enough, and I love his mansion.
And he goes and intervenes, picks him up, chomps him on his neck, levitates up as this angelic music plays, and then
it's the sexiest fucking thing ever.
The biting,
the tussling, the hair, the groaning, the shit between them. I mean, it's just immediately like, this is gay sex. Mm-hmm. We're having gay sex.
And Tom Cruise says like, do you want me to continue?
Right.
Basically,
right,
like, yes, yes.
Hurt?
And
in a good way?
And Brad Pitt's like, well, he says, do you still want death or have you tasted it enough? And Brad Pitt says, enough. So Tom Cruise drops him into the Mississippi River. And it's the next day. And like the way you turn into a vampire in this movie is you get bitten. And then while you're like the life force is draining out of you, then a vampire has to feed you his own blood.
But oddly, they just assert that Claudia can't do it. It's like, no, you don't have a dick, Claudia. You can't have gay sex. That's why you can't turn out a vampire. It's like, why can both boys do it?
She says, I'm not strong enough, but yes. I didn't understand why.
But if this is all like a metaphor for male gay sex, then okay, I get it. I don't know that Anne Rice meant to make this all just fit so perfectly, but it's easy to connect these dots.
We don't believe in authorial intent on this program. We say you interpret and get the meaning derived from your own brain hole, as Lacey likes to say.
Okay.
And as long as you can support it with stuff that happens in the movie or the book, then it's valid.
Well, unfortunately, they never show a woman turning another woman, so I have no proof that women can do anything in this world except for have heaving bosoms or toys. Adorable coiled hair.
They can make toys and dresses.
It's their favorite.
So Louis wakes up in his bedroom and Lestat's there and he's like, hey, what's going on, man?
Right in the bedroom. Like, how'd I get undressed? Oh.
And Lestat says, I've come to answer your prayers. Life has no meaning anymore. The wine has no taste. The food sickens you. There seems no reason for any of it. Does there? But what if I could give it back to you? He's like,
but he doesn't. They don't eat or drink. You don't give it back.
They not?
They don't eat. They have to fake eating and drinking. All they can do is drink blood, and they want it all the time. So, what if I could make you a raging alcoholic who could only immorally get the alcohol? It's prohibition every day Sunday.
It's metaphorical food and drink. Like the things you used to enjoy, you don't enjoy.
Life.
Yeah, I can give you your lust for life back. In fact, it'll be even more intense. You'll feel sensations you never before thought possible.
I'll bet you one vampire dick that he wasn't even happy when he did have a wife and a daughter. I bet he was a goddamn bummer then.
Of course he was, yes.
Oh, the plantation. It was passed on to me by my dad. I don't want to also own people. Oh, I can't even find my daughter in this big house. Oh, wait, she was never born. She's in my wife. I hope she
Where's
comes
my
out okay.
daughter? Oh, your floor, sir. So he isn't, he's Droopy Dog.
I
So
know.
he isn't a vampire yet. He is, Cruz says, like, I'm going to give you the choice that I never had. Something he returns to a bunch of times, but it's not actually a choice because it's like, you're going to die or become a vampire. Which one do you want? Pitt's like, vampire. I want vampire. Okay. So he goes and looks at his last sunrise, and then Tom Cruise just jumps onto him and turns him into a vampire for real. And then Brad Pitt gets up and starts sucking the blood out of Tom Cruise. It's his like first sexual encounter. First like real sexual encounter with a man. But then once it's done, he violently jerks away like, what have I done?
What did you make me do?
You know,
Oh my God, you're gay?
and then he starts going like violent convulsions, and Lestat's like, your body's dying. Pay no attention. Happens to us all.
Okay, this drives me crazy. They go on for just a little bit too long than they should if they can't have receipts for this. With how you really can't explain it to a human. It's just different. Things after, it's like, how do you remember, Lestat? You've been alive for hundreds of years this way. What do you even fucking remember? You're still looking at statues and going, ooh. No, you're looking at statues going, their eyes move. Because that's the only fucking difference you showed us. Like, you really can't put it into human words, except for we'll give you this one example. You see that statue? Its eyes moved.
I think that the eyes moving on the statue is wonderful.
Yes,
it's
so do more
cool.
stuff.
Yeah.
Do 3 more, rule of 3. Don't give me one example, because if everything just looks a little bit more interesting, everything makes me curious, is I think how he puts it, or like everything has intrigue. Then why doesn't this man go discovering more stuff? Go get interested in bugs. I don't know.
When the movies come around, you go see that train coming at the screen. The train actually comes out of the screen and runs you over. Whoa.
Well, right. It's just 3D. It's it. So whenever 3D starts existing in theaters, he's like, why is everybody acting like a vampire in here? It's crazy.
I just love the statue thing because it's so strange. It's so magical. Like this the way that
you are
what
out of
as
your
a
mind.
visual signifier of how
It
different
looks like
things
they
are.
had no idea what to fucking do. And they went,
no, it's so deliberate. It's so wonderful. You are a fool. As a newborn vampire weeping at the beauty of the night. But they have to sleep in a coffin every night. And Lestat steals him in. So he's like, I have to give so much control over to Lestat already.
but I love that he says you're about to have the most restful sleep of your night. Like, give it to me.
Hell yeah.
I want to have that, please.
It's the Michael Jackson put me under on anesthesia.
Oh my God. Can
every
you
night.
imagine always now count backwards from 10? Oh, it's my favorite part of the day. I wasn't even doing Michael Jackson. That's just my excited voice. It's my favorite part of the day.
So they go to a soiree. Brad Pitt is having a hunger like he's never experienced before.
He dresses like Gaston.
He is. He's Gaston. And Tom Cruise is like,
Pepe Le Pew.
it's very easy for him to seduce these women, get some blood, and then hands the woman over to Louis. He's like, you take some now too.
Show me a Steve Buscemi vampire, though. How much pussy is he getting?
I mean,
A Danny DeVito vampire.
there's
Give
a
it up.
movie.
Give it up. What do you do with the ugly vampires? That's the biggest trope that is the same through every movie I can remember, except for like a Nosferatu or Dracula. Even Dracula's charming,
Oh no,
right?
Dracula's a fucking
I'm
snack
thinking
and
of
a
the
half.
Count.
The Count.
One. No.
Because that's Dimitri.
He's not hot.
No, he's not. Though, in Twins, Danny DeVito in the movie Twins, the joke of that movie is that he's like a ladies' man, but he shows like you can be a hot person even if you're not conventionally attractive. You just carry yourself like you are, and people will buy it. So,
Right. It's all
Danny
about
DeVito
confidence.
vampire absolutely could exist. So here's the first indication of what a fucking annoying little piece of shit Louis is Tom Cruise hands the woman over to Louis, and he starts sucking. He's like, oh, I fucking love drinking this woman's blood. And then after a while he spits her out and he's like, I will not. And it's like, oh, okay, my God. Okay. So later they're having dinner and Lestat's like, you're going to get used to killing enough soon enough. This is how it happens. At first you're a little squeamish, but you're going to get used to it. Also, we're very lucky. We're very lucky to have such a big home. We're very lucky to live on a plantation. I love that a large part of this movie is just vampire mooch. It's just
Yes, that's what I'm
vampires
saying.
mooching off
You've
of you.
got to run out of money sometime. They don't even explain how he's making money. How could you hold down a job with these hours? Like, was he going to be a nurse? Access to blood, but yeah, that the financials of it seems like, oh, like God, have endless time to make money and money. I don't know. I have no proof of this. I've been around.
If he's an aristocrat, if Lestat's an aristocrat, then he is from the kind of old money that just comes from I own things.
But he says he was living in a field like cattle before he was with Louis.
But he must have gone on for so long that he just exhausted everything he ever had.
Yes.
And now it's on to Louis.
That is why I was like, why aren't there tons of little Lestats running around? Well, it's like he wasn't just bored. He was bored and living in a field with cattle. You know how hard it is to really get the ladies when you smell like cow shit?
So I love Vampire Frank Abagnale. I want that movie too.
Yes. Yeah, he mentions the house immediately and only gets mad about the house stuff. I can't even understand. It's a Bella Edwards situation all the way through. I have no idea what these fuckers are talking about. Louis seems so damn boring. And Lestat doesn't seem to want to talk about any of his stories. Give it up.
Lestat is like like what we say about Gene Hackman as Lex Luthor. Like he's only comfortable if he can surround himself with people he feels superior to. He needs a dumb idiot who looks good like Louis.
It's a real risk though, right?
Berate.
You don't know what power he's going to get. He could get super strength. He could grow a 20-inch dick. That doesn't seem useful, but I mean, you don't know. You're just going to turn him and see what happens. I don't think there's no way of betting you're biting the right horse.
No, he's such a good predator that he could tell even before you bit him. Like that guy's never going to be able to turn on me. That pussy, no way.
Okay.
So
he's about to nibble on the old woman, and he is. And it's interesting because they don't address it, but they're able to make their actual penetrative bites feel like hot, sexy sex stuff to these women. And they all seem to be enjoying it until they see the blood. It's like they don't feel it. They can only see that something bad has happened. And here, and rightly so, all of a sudden her two poodles start barking and that upsets Louis. So he just kind of yanks one and eats it in front of her. Louis.
Here's what's happening here, though, I think. This is like, I can still do it. My penis can become erect for a woman.
Okay.
I'm working really hard, concentrating. I can do it. I'm going to make it happen. Then the fucking dog starts barking. You're like, God damn it. I was so close.
I got it. But then what's eating the dog?
Just unleashes his fury at not being able to perform sexually with a woman.
You are a dog with a bone with this theory. Okay, got it.
But okay, it is a marked contrast. Tom Cruise is with like the young foppish man, and he like is going in for a kiss, and then Brad Pitt has the old woman. Before this, that's when Tom Cruise explains like, okay, technically we don't have to eat people. You can eat animals, you can eat rats and stuff, but why would you want to? And I kind of love this whole thing is like, Tom Cruise's attitude is just, you get sick of it. Who would want to do that?
We're a top predator. What are we supposed to do? Not prey.
It would just get so boring. So he assumes Brad Pitt will also be like this. Like maybe you'll make a big show about eating animals for a while, but then you'll get sick of it. But Lestat's right, because Brad Pitt does eventually move on to eating people.
Right, with the right controller. When he's pretending it's because he's caregiving. I'm the dad.
Mm-hmm.
Dad's
I gotta do it for her.
I can own slaves for my other wife and daughter. I could do this for the. Well, how's the kid gonna eat? She's got such an insatiable appetite.
So the slaves of his plantation, they now suspect they're vampires, and again, because they're from Africa, they've got their African religions and they're dancing around, and so the movie is. Yeah, this is a little rough with like, well, because they're from Africa, they know these things. They like know about like the magic spirits of the world.
Yeah, right.
And so they're like doing their fire dances outside, and inside Lestat's like, let me tell you, and he's probably told Louis like 50 times this already. Boy, I'm glad I'm in America. It's much easier to be a vampire here than over in Paris. That's where I came from, Paris. Much easier over here. Although actually Brad Pitt's like, you came from Paris? So yeah, me and the guy who turned me into a vampire, he's John Wayne. Me and the guy who turned me into a vampire. And he's like, well, he must have taught you so much about like being a vampire and stuff. You must have learned. I learned absolutely nothing. But you must know something about the meaning of it all. And then Tom Cruise goes nuts on him for one of many times. Like, shut the fuck up. Stop saying that. Stop asking me questions. You're always asking me questions. You're annoying. I'm annoyed with this noise. I'm out of here. He leaves.
I turned the wrong vampire gay.
And then Tandiwe Newton, in an early role for her, plays the slave who is in the house with him.
That's Tandy? Mm-hmm. She looks so familiar, but she's still got like a round face.
Yes, she's worried about him. She asks, "Are you even still our master?" The slaves all hate Lestat. They want you to send him away. They're all frightened
jumping
of him.
over our bonfires with his horse.
And so Brad Pitt starts like kissing her, and then he gets tempted and then bites her. And he's like, "Oh no, I'm a monster!" And he
unclear if she's dead though when he delivers her to the other slaves.
Yes. So he goes outside. They all have torches, and he's like, "Hear me now. This place is cursed, and your master's the devil. Run away now. You're all free."
Right. Don't worry. I set all of it on fire. There's nothing even for you to sell or eat. I had an entire feast that this lovely lady cooked for me. You guys look hungry. I burned it to the ground. Bye. I'll take the only horse. Thank you.
Executed bill of sales are all up in my desk.
Right.
Oh, fuck.
So I didn't think that one through. Someone needs their coffee. Tandy?
This is the first of 3 times he will start a literal fire to burn down his life.
He is a fire starter. Yes,
Yeah.
and notice that right away.
But he starts like an idiot. He starts the fire with himself inside. He's like, "Oh shit, I can't get out of my house."
Does the first floor before the second. Like, no. That's going to rise. Get out of there.
But this is a time where it's very easy to burn things down. Like just a little bit of, oh.
Well, I was like, oh no, something like that could lead to like one of the fires that literally, I mean, New Orleans burnt down to the ground twice in its history. And I was like, okay, it can't be this though. This is like in the Bywater or something. This is far enough away. And then he burns down his fucking like French Quarter chateau, and yeah, the entire town that's so funny. They built real history into, that's how it started.
Yeah, and not just New Orleans, every fire that's ever happened. The Chicago fire, it wasn't that cow, it was Louis. Louis did it.
Louis he's sick of this couch. This couch is dumb. Set it on fire.
So Louis inside the house. He's like, "Oh, stupid fire started." Oh, and then Lestat jumps back in. He's like, "That's great. Just great, Louis. God damn it."
Not only you're boring and sad, but now we got to go live in a different mansion. They do not explain where the money is coming from. He certainly didn't sell the plantation.
He owns stuff.
Who?
Brad Pitt. He owns lots of holdings. He says in the narration at some point, it's just too boring to notice. He's like, I had sold some of my stuff so they'd have more.
I was an early investor in Google.
I mean, yeah, don't even worry about it. I did it.
I believed in the railroad.
So Louis wakes up in a tomb, and Lestat's there, and he's like, "Hey, what's going on?" And Louis like, "We belong in hell." And then in the narration, Brad Pitt's like, "But there was no hell. And no matter where we moved to," no, wait, "but there was a hell. And no matter where we moved to, I was in it. Because I was in an abusive relationship and wasn't aware of it."
He's in hell even without him.
That's true, but he's literally talking about Lestat. Everywhere I go,
yes,
Lestat's
because
there.
he's blaming it's like, this is situational depression. If I were just away from this man.
If I just got to Paris, things would be different. Maybe I should go back to school.
Maybe I should just switch to a different apartment.
So they do switch. They move to the French Quarter.
He's my mom. Like, maybe let's not even finish this lease. Get your things.
We're going to Pier 1.
No, I fucking wish. No. You and your brother are going to share a bedroom this time. That'll really spice things up. Like, I like the townhouse, Mummy.
Yeah.
The one where we all have a bedroom.
I think Pier 1's closed now, but I think one of my favorite things you ever said to me was like, Pier 1's whole business model is for like manic moms who just got a divorce.
And
like
boy,
going deep into debt to buy a whole new life.
They will give you financing.
Yeah. So, all right, they're partying with these 2 ladies in a French Quarter flat.
I have no proof that Louis ever takes part in these parties.
No, he just stands
on the balcony, but Lestat always brings him a to-go box. Like, I brought you one.
Yes.
This one's mine.
He is, yes.
I brought you one.
And then he's mad. He's just fucking drink the blood. God damn it.
You know I'm on a diet. Quit bringing me your doggy bags. I'm sick of that. Does smell
You told me if I ordered onion rings, you'd have some. Now I just look like a pig.
I'm on Louis' side. He's trying to diet. He's trying to watch his murder.
The way that this scene plays out, Tom Cruise is just going down basically on a woman. It is it is framed with him. So he goes and like sucks on her boob, but the shot composition makes it look like he is performing oral sex on her. Then he gets up and she is looking like she's masturbating as blood pours out of her. It's a great image. It's really cool. And then
great.
It's great. It's very effective. Then she looks down, like you said, and realizes what's happening to her.
Right.
These are the sorts of things that make this movie so...
It does. So they don't say it, but there is a euphoria. Like, that's the way they get away with it, because they also don't completely kill the person, because in the lore of this world of vampires, drinking the blood of a dead person, it can start to negatively affect a vampire. So you have to have enough control to just get them just to almost death. So since you can't just kill a person and drink them, which would be the quiet way to do it, it must be that the piercing sends them with like a euphoric feeling for a long enough time for you to drink. Drink.
And he drains some of her blood into a goblet and hands it over to Louis. Like, just drink it. And Louis like, I can't, I'll go to hell. And so Tom Cruise, in I think my favorite moment of him in the movie, he just starts lashing out. This is like the angry husband who won't like physically abuse his wife, but will like punch a hole through the wall. Yeah. And the way they have a coffin that they're using as their coffee table. It is wonderful.
Well, you got to put them somewhere, and it's somewhere that's not auspicious. You're going to use it tonight, or today.
So he's going to open it up and put the woman in. And I just grabbed this clip because I just wanted to call attention to how wonderful of a physical actor Tom Cruise is, how committed he is, the way he kicks the thing open, and just but still the grace with which he moves. Mm-hmm. Just everything every little thing he does.
He's sprightly.
So she's dying, and Brad Pitt's like, come on, she's suffering, pour out of her misery, dude, don't do, and Lestat's like, no, you do it, kill her. Come on, kill her. I won't do it. I won't.
Yeah, no, I'm facing you with a moral conundrum. It would be in her best interest if you were to kill her, but you say killing is immoral. So which is it?
And Lestat's getting more frustrated with Louis. Like, you won't just do it, fine, so he has to do it.
Well, he doesn't even have the courage of his own convictions. If what we're going for is moral here and she's suffering, the only way to make her not suffer anymore is to kill her, why aren't you killing her, Louis?
Because then he will be doing this all the time. But yeah. I love that Lestat, after he eats the woman, he just kind of collapses onto a chair and looks at Louis, and he's like, Louis, he collapses onto the chair. Louis looks at him. He's like, to think you are all I have to learn from. And Lestat says, and to think I gave you the gift of all the people I could have fucking turned. I turned you.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know how much time has gone by. I'm sure it'll only take a month or two before I'm going to bring a fucking snack bag up to Louis just to see what he does, just because I'm bored as shit. Mm-hmm. And because women tend to travel in pairs for safety. It's convenient. But if I'm Louis and I'm like, please fucking stop. Of course, I want that blood, but I've already had all these rats. Just quit bringing it up here. I'm trying not to do this. It smells amazing. You're being an asshole.
Yeah, he's approaching it the wrong way. You got to do the soft sell. You got to not press so hard.
I mean, you've had hundreds of years to like work on your chat, like your influence here. Like, just figure him out and fucking manipulate him, man.
He's a blunt instrument. He doesn't know how any other way than to be the way he is.
Lestat?
Yeah. He wouldn't.
I don't find him blunt.
If he were the kind of person who could be like, I'll do this, I'll work on him, play the long game.
I think there was some long game in him choosing Brad Pitt. I mean, shoot. I have no evidence to back up what I'm saying.
Brad Pitt goes out into the rain to be a sad boy, and he wanders around, and there's a man's like, don't go that way, mister, there's the plague. So he goes, the plague sounds fitting for my soul. And he goes that way, and he sees Kirsten Dunst. Oh, hey. And she is hugging her dead mother, seems like she's been dead for days.
Oh, at least.
Yeah. Please wake mama, monsieur.
There's life in the old girl yet. Sorry, I know I'm skipping scenes, but please, monsieur, mama.
And Louis hugs her and then just jumps into her. Damn it, I did it. Fuck.
I guess love makes me chomp.
And as he's chomping, then Lestat comes in. He's like, hey, buddy, I knew you could do it.
Do you think I do anything but follow you and then find ladies later? No, I was doing the thing where I followed you.
And then he dances with the dead mother.
Life in the silver. Oh, I already said it.
And can't just be like Louis. I know that was rough on you, Louis, but you did it. Okay, yeah. Hell, you pussy! You went ahead and did it. You popped your cherry, you motherfucker!
And you did it on a little girl. That's even more fucked up than what I was doing.
So Louis runs out to cry, and he's like, "The sewer's where I belong." And then Lestat follows him again
after turning her, right? Or no, he just puts her in the bed.
Right. Lestat follows her, and he's like, "You're in pain. We are vampires. We are in pain. We feel everything way more intensely than mortal people. The only way to stop feeling that pain is to kill and eat people. So you just got to do it. All right? I know you chomped that girl. It's not your fault. You didn't make it's not a moral failing. You're just doing what you're programmed to do. Evil is a point of view." He says, "God kills indiscriminately, and so shall we. For no creatures under God are as we are. None so like him as ourselves."
Right. I mean, is a lion immoral?
Right.
No.
I mean, isn't it cool to think that God's a vampire?
The world is a vampire.
So he's like, "Come back. I've got a gift for you." And he's like, "A gift? Okay.
I like presents.
What's in there?"
If it's another girl, I swear to God.
Well, it's a girl.
But it's a smaller one. Okay.
You need company, Louis, more congenial than mine, and it's Kirsten Dunst. Brad Pitt didn't kill her after all, but Tom Cruise is like, "We got to turn her into a vampire or she's going to die." So Brad Pitt lets it happen. Lestat turns her into a vampire, and she starts sucking on Lestat's arm and then gets way too intense about it, and he has to like kick her off him. Like, okay. So right away we're already seeing like she's a little bloodthirsty. This one.
Yes.
She's a firecracker. Mm-hmm. And then she sits up. She is transformed into a vampire. Her hair becomes magically curly and pristine. And she just goes, "I want some more.
I want some more."
So they summon a servant lady, and Claudia chomps on her. And Lestat's like, "Oh, gentle, ma chérie."
Yeah, stop it.
Because you have to stop before the heart stops. That's crucial. And then he sits down, and Kirsten Dunst is amazing in this movie. Tom Cruise is so good with her. He is sitting in the bed and like twirling his finger around her hair and just looking at Louis, and he's just being the most manipulative piece of shit in the universe. And he's like, "This is our daughter. That's over there. That's your daddy, Louis. He was gonna leave you. Can you believe that? He's not gonna leave us anymore, is him?" Mm-hmm. So they're one happy family. And now we have the montage of the happiness where they're both lavishing her with gifts. And in fact, Lestat does love her in his own way and cherishes her and wants to spoil her. And lots of funny like, "Oh, Claudia, you killed another seamstress. I told you."
Who's going to finish her dress?
"She would sleep in my coffin at first," Louis says, "till the day came when she wanted one of her own. But still, whenever she awoke, she would crawl into mine."
Me and the kid both were like, "Oh."
I know. "To me, she was a child, but to Lestat, she was a pupil with a lust for killing to match his own. Together, they killed off whole families." And then
they show a scene of a really big family with a baby, a toddler.
With Lestat just in ecstatic joy in their house, and Kirsten Dunst is playing the piano, and then cut. It's now several coffins, including a little tiny coffin, are being hauled out. It's just so brutal. Oh, I love it.
They must be in with the wood industry. The wood they are causing. These coffins. Beautiful.
Time is marching on. Immigrants, Yankees, are arriving on the Natchez steamship. But Lestat misses the old New Orleans. He likes Creole people better than Americans.
I didn't realize they'd literally joined the Americas when he's saying this. I thought he just meant that like more people were coming to live there.
Yeah. And Brad Pitt says, like, "We were all Americans now because of the Louisiana Purchase." So they are walking around New Orleans, and Claudia sees a woman just bathing naked in a window. And Tom Cruise, Lestat says, "Don't you want her?" And she says, "I want to be her." And he says, "Ugh, more melancholy nonsense. I swear, you remind me more of Louis each day." The whole thing with Claudia is decades are passing, but she is growing in the mind, but not the body. But She's still being treated like a child by the world.
And Louis doesn't know it's taboo to turn a child. I'm sure he doesn't feel right about it, and he's not seen anyone else turned except for himself. So, but he doesn't know. Lestat sure the hell should know that that's not what you do. They don't really explain why, but you watch her. She's not being forever young in your beginning place, being forever underestimated, and you're a female too. Like, you're never gonna get respect and get ahead. This is wasted immortality because no one respects this.
Yeah, and simple things like I will never have sex. I will never have sexual desires. I will never have just the trappings of being an adult, of having an adult body. That is a curse to constantly be aware of. And then even the vampires who know you're not actually a little girl still treat you like you are. Still say you're our daughter and we're going to buy you baby dolls and stuff.
Okay, but it is confusing, right? Because then when she goes and she wants the mom to be with her forever, she doesn't want another small girl turned, although that would not help. She does go back to like, you're my mommy, you're my daddy. I need a mommy, you know.
Yeah, and that woman had lost a daughter of her own, so it was like we fit together.
Right.
I guess it's if this is the role I have to play in the world, then that's why pretend I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
So 30 years have passed. Her body remains an eternal child. Lestat comes into her room. He's like, guess what? I have a surprise for you. And she's like, I'm fucking 41. Is it cigarettes? And he's like, no, it's a baby doll. Like, I'm sick of fucking baby dolls. And he's like, well, then throw away your goddamn baby dolls. And she's like, maybe I will. And she pulls all the baby dolls off of her shelf. And then, it's that naked woman from the
been
street.
Rotting.
She's just keeping a naked corpse in her room.
Because she wants her. She wants to be her.
Right.
And Lestat is so grossed out because she's defiled her bed.
Yes.
She doesn't sleep in it.
Well, he's still...
But he wants to keep the house. He likes this house. He likes what he's doing.
Exactly.
It all just goes back to, you are fucking up appearances. Just stop blowing up our spot.
And he's yelling at her, and Louie's like, "Go, Claudia, be reasonable. You can't have a corpse in your bedroom." And then she starts, like, she chops off her hair, and then it grows back right away, and then starts demanding, which one of you did it? Who turned me into a vampire? I'm like, who do you think? Well, Lestat refuses to tell her. And he's like, why won't you tell me? And he says, because it's in my power. I don't have to tell you. And so she realizes, well, I wrote down like, this is him saying that to her. It's in my power to just withhold this information from you. Something seems to click with her where it never clicked with Louis, that like he actually doesn't have any power over us at all. That's like, if he's clinging to stuff like that, he really has nothing. But Louis has always treated him like literally like a literal master.
There's a reason why Lestat follows you around, like literally follows you when you leave his side. He's bored without you too. He could go fuck off and do a whole other little family if he wanted to, but this is where he stays.
So she starts asking lots of questions about like vampire lore, but it's different from Brad Pitt's. It's way more practical. She wants to learn about like vampire lore, vampire fiction. Is there any truth to any of this? Why was I turned into a vampire? How can you make another vampire? But it's not these like meandering philosophical things Brad Pitt's asking.
Yeah.
She needs to know the actual answers to these things. There's a part of the book where Louis says that Lestat withholding information from him about what it's like to be a vampire can be dangerous for practical reasons too. They don't really hammer it home in the movie, but it could be like, you can't go out in the rain or else you'll melt. That's what happens to vampires. It could be something like that. Like, how I'll never know what actual dangers are out there.
Yeah, I knew what it was to be a human, and then you've turned me into something different, and now you won't tell me any of the rules except for the ones you want to tell me. It's, again, an example of him holding and using the very little power that he does have. That's it. The only reason to draw you to me is that I'm the only other vampire you know, and I'm the one that knows if there's others, and I haven't told you that, and you don't know the rules, and if it's a real emergency, I'll probably tell you the rules. Like, and the only reason that's really, I mean, except for that he seems mildly amused by Louis, is that Louis has the money. That's it. It's just that. I need you and you need me, and this is all that there is to it.
And that's all there is in the world, is just people's...
But Claudia, when she realizes she can't grow old, she can't change, nothing, that I think in all at once in that moment, she realizes, I might be smarter than both of them. I might be more capable than both of them, more curious, and I could really get ahead in this world, but without the beard, I keep using that analogy, without someone to look like they were my caregiver, I will not get to get into any doors. I won't even be able to get a hotel room because I just look like a little girl.
Yeah. So she's got to do something
about it. It's a fucked up thing to do to somebody.
So Louis like walking her around and he's like, I shall show you your old house where I found you. And she says, you fed on me? And he says, yes, I fed on you. And then he found me with you. And he cut his wrist and he fed you from him and turned you into a vampire. And she says, so you both did it. And Louis says, I took your life. He gave you another one. And Claudia says,
both did it.
Here it is. Here's my life. And I hate you both. And then she runs away. And this is like the child of abuse who hates the mother more than the father. The mother who like stands or doesn't stop the abusive father. She realizes like, you also fucking suck, Louis.
Yep. But
So
just like someone who's still a child in an abusive relationship with no other options, I still love ya.
Because then she comes back later that night and says, I can't hate you, Louis. I still love you after all.
What are your options, Claudia? This isn't really flattering, okay? Because you have nothing else.
But we got to do something about that Lestat. And Brad Pitt's like, no, he will never let us go. And she says, oh, really?
And now is the cutest little back and forth, I think, between her and Lestat. And I'm just thinking, oh, Claudia, don't kill him. You guys are really onto something here. He's the only one that can like give you any guff. He's the only one that can keep up is this Lestat, even though he's being a pisser. But he's being a real dick and doesn't want her pestering him while he's playing the piano for the 8th time that day. And she's just trying to butter him up and like, I got you a gift. Let's not fight. I really want you to see these 2 little Dutch boys. They're on a paint can. Come eat them.
I love that he's playing piano and she walks in and he just looks up and he says, you irritate me. Your presence irritates me.
Fuck off.
And he says, you know what your problem is? You're an only child. You're spoiled. You need a brother. So it's like he's still the only way he can view the world is like, well, we're a family here and I can expand my control by expanding this family. That's how
right. And I need to make Claudia responsible for another person because she'll know that I created this little boy who is doomed to the same fate as her because she needed it. That'll really trap her. How do you trap a kid? With a kid. How do you trap an adult? With a kid.
Mm-hmm. I have a gift for you, she tells Lestat. He says, I hope it's a beautiful woman with endowments you'll never possess.
Rude.
The look on Kirsten Dunst's face is great. And she says, why do you say such things? And Tom Cruise actually feels legitimately bad.
Yes.
Touches her hand. And then he's like, come on, show me that gift. And you're like, oh, he's all right. Don't do what you're about to do.
I'm like, look, you guys got something cooking over here.
Yeah, you had a breakthrough. So she has these plump little Dutch boys. She's like, they're drunk on brandy wine. I gave them a thimbleful each. And Lestat is like, is both excited as hell. And he's also like, oh, what a beautiful daughter. What a moment we're having.
Mm-hmm. You knew I'd like the curly head little boys who match.
Yeah. Munch. Can't wait to eat these guys. Start eating them, but something's wrong. And he drops to the ground. He's like, absinthe? And you've given them absinthe. And Claudia says, no, laudanum. It killed them, but it keeps the blood warm. You let me drink dead blood.
So his first guess of absinthe is like, okay, so dead blood makes you trip balls. Because why else say absinthe? You know, like, well, his first guess is like, this tastes wrong and I feel bad instantly. And it's just like when you eat zombie flesh in Minecraft. It will nourish you, but it also poisons you.
Does absinthe warm the blood?
No, but he thinks they're alive. He doesn't know they're dead. He thinks they're alive with absinthe.
Oh, it tastes funny.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
I mean, because absinthe is an alcohol that makes you hallucinate, right? So it's like, you were lying. It's not brandy. They have some sort of poison in their alive blood that's making me feel weird. Yeah. It's surely not that they're dead.
She's like, actually, no, it's way worse than that. So, yeah, you let me drink dead blood. And he's getting woozy, starts collapsing. He's like, Louie, give me my coffin, Louie. Put me in my coffin. But Claudia just slices his fucking throat open and just a billion gallons of blood gush everywhere. The Stan Winston makeup is incredible as he transforms into a ghoul. And then Louis comes in. He's like, Claudia, what did you do? Oh, no. This isn't who we are, Claudia. When he goes low, we go high.
And to show her dominance, pick me up, Louis. Mm-hmm. I don't want to get my blood on my satin shoes.
On my little booties. And so So yeah, he's like, I just feel real bad about this, Claudia. And she's like, we got to do something with the body. I'm thinking swamp. So they go out to the swamp and feed him to an alligator. And
you see blood rise in the water, and you're like, well, that did it. But what
it.
you don't know is that was the alligator bleeding, not Louis. I mean, not Lestat.
They sit there and watch the alligator chomping on the vampire. And
they don't stay long enough.
well, they're observing it for a little while. And Claudia's like, he deserved to die, Louis. And Louis's like, no, dear, but maybe we deserve to die too. Oh. She's already like, I killed the wrong parent. Fuck. So they're going to go to Europe because there everything will be good. But the boat's not coming for a while, so they got to kill some time. So Claudia starts doing a lot of research about vampires. Maybe once we get to Europe, that's where the vampires will be. That's where we'll meet our kind. And then Lestat returns looking all alligator-fied. Just some of my favorite makeup ever.
And he's creepily playing the piano and scaring the shit out of them. Like, we were almost gone. We were almost out of here. How would you have found us? And don't worry, reaches back into his one bag of tricks and lights the fucker on fire. That's it. Sets the whole entirety of New Orleans ablaze.
Well, Lacey, you're missing the iconic line.
What is
Claudia, you've been a very naughty little girl.
I don't find that iconic.
Now I'm here to fucking kill you. Although he's not there to kill them. He's guys, I forgive you. I forgive you.
I'm gonna get you.
That's how gracious I am. We'll forget all about it.
He has no choices.
Yeah.
Now he looks like that. Can't get any pussy and can't get any money. He's not luring anybody with those looks. That's why he goes and lives in a hut. Wherever the fuck.
And all Brad Pitt has to do is throw a candle at him and he lights on fire. And then the whole place burns down. They're like, oh, that was kind of easy, actually. And they get on the boat and float away.
Everything that happened before is what made the fire so effective.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know. Can they die or can't they? It's hard to. Let's say that.
They pull away. The ship is leaving port. They watch the city of New Orleans that Louis is burning to the ground, killing thousands.
Remorse. Just right.
No, he does have remorse. Oh, Lestat, I've wronged you. I'm so sorry, my beloved.
All the mortals
no.
and all their possessions, dead in their sleep, but poor fucking Lestat.
Just a fucking bitch. So,
and
at this point,
sense.
Tom Cruise is just out of the movie. That's it. I mean, he returns briefly 2 times later in the movie, but this is it. We're halfway through the movie.
And I accept it a lot easier than you do. I had zero memory of any of the Europe stuff. I'm like, how have I seen this movie multiple times and block out the fucking... I'm like, okay, it's just some sort of like campy play that we're going to watch now. And then when it gets to the part where the lady's naked and she's pleading for her life, and I'm like, yep, that's why I disassociate from this. I'll forget this in 3 days.
Oh, it's great.
It's not great. I hate it. I mean, I'm sure you love it, you fucking pervert, but I don't. I don't like watching the like horror on the entire audience's face as they realize it's been a bait and switch, and they're like, "Is she performing or isn't she?" I don't like that.
Why don't you like that?
It makes me uncomfortable. I don't like it.
I wouldn't want to happen to me or to you, to be clear.
But it's some sort of like morality test that Armand gives to the vampires, I guess, to see if he's going to let them in his club. Because he's the only other vampire watching. It's like, hey, come to our performance.
Their performance,
see if you like it.
They go to Europe. We searched village after village, country after country, and found nothing. I began to believe we were the only vampires. Then we cut to the president, Christian Slater's like, you mean there's no vampires in Transylvania, no Dracula?
In Dracylvania.
No, just the thoughts of a demented Irishman. So
not so demented. I mean, it could. They just might not be there anymore, Brad.
Right. We are in, but they arrive in Paris. Oh, Paris, Gay Paris, 1870. Paris is the father of New Orleans, after all. Me and my wife arrived at this swell hotel and just danced the night away. And then
bride.
He is like Brad Pitt is just walking down a cobblestone street by himself. And then as I finally stopped looking for other vampires, they found me. So it's Stephen Ray. And he's like doing a little Harpo Marx routine with Brad Pitt, where he's like doing a mirror image of everything Brad Pitt does. And Brad Pitt's amused, but then he's like, you're a buffoon. And he gets mad.
Well, right. Because he starts to feel there's malice in it. It's not just someone having fun. It's someone having fun with him.
Okay. But
also,
still,
this is the only other fucking I'd be bummed too if this is it. Just someone that likes to like do jokes and like fuck with me? Go to hell.
It's just, I'd assume it's a cultural thing. It's France. They like weird shit. They like clowns. They like Jerry Louis. We just don't get each other's sense of humor.
Shoot me dead.
As Stephen Ray is doing this, now we meet Antonio Banderas, and he's like, "Hey, Santiago, knock that shit off."
Fucking clowning around.
And Louis goes up to Armand, and he's like, "I've searched the world for a mortal, and this is what I find. This clown."
Well, also the one you're talking to. What the hell? Oh, I'm so sorry, Louis. You went to 2 fucking places.
Yeah.
Oh.
I went to Paris. I went to Nice.
The streets of the other Paris.
So Antonio Banderas hands him a card, and he's like, "Listen, I run this little theater. Come by sometime."
It's real low key. It's called Theater of Vampires.
Yes, it is. So yeah, the stage show is they invite normal people and they kidnap a real woman, and everybody watching as this woman gets stripped naked and eaten by real vampires think this is all part of the stage show, or is it? And that's the whole point. And Kirsten Dunst says, "Oh, how avant-garde!" But Brad Pitt up in the balcony is like, "Oh, this is monstrous. This is not okay. They should not be doing this." But I really love this scene. I think it's so captivating. So beautifully staged. It's creepy as hell. Stephen Ray is creepy as hell the way he talks. And then Antonio Banderas dressed as the devil coming on stage and just picking her up and then handing her over to his coven of like feral vampires who just devour her live on stage. It's awesome. He invites Brad Pitt and
unfortunately, honey, we have backstage passes to this show. Yeah. I don't want to be rude.
So we have to go take the tour.
These are monsters and I'm terrified and I can't believe we're in a den of sin, but we don't want to be rude.
We paid for the upgrade. We've got these lanyards.
I got the princess package.
So he's giving them a tour and Brad Pitt again goes, "Monstrous." That's just everything he sees. Monstrous. No, this painting is monstrous. And Armand's like, "Yes, but very beautiful." And so then he takes out the beautiful boy, and he's like, "Here, suckle on my boy, please." Oh. And Brad Pitt's like, "Yeah, okay, I'm cool, man. I'll do it." And he reluctantly does it. Starts asking, "I want to know like so much about like vampires. Like, what's the deal with vampires?"
Is he trying to interview him? That's not your thing, Louis.
And well, we'll find out. He's not asking the right questions. What are we? What's the deal with vampires? What's the deal with vampires? It's like, well, I don't know, really. He's like, well, fuck. All right.
This is useless.
There's just all kinds of circular, like, well, if who made me and who made the vampire? If God doesn't exist, then what's the point of everything? And Armand's like, "Look, I'm the oldest vampire in the world. I've been alive for 400 years. And here's what I can tell you. Never seen a god, never seen a devil. This is all I know. What I know is you right now are very special. I'm totally not just grooming you to be my next abused target. You're the most special boy I've ever seen in the entire universe." And Brad Pitt's like, "Something about him made me feel very special. I don't know."
He just wants to get rid of my special girl. I don't understand.
There is a really cool moment where in the narration, as Brad Pitt is leaving the theater, he says like, "And I thought once again that I had wronged my poor beloved Lestat."
It is, it is kind of revealed that he is lying the whole time. He says, and I fell for it, Matt, that it's taboo to have a vampire so young. And then you see the little boy and you're like, oh, well, he's still alive. Okay. But then, is Claudia in danger? Or, well, they just say, it's not cool what you did. It's not okay. That doesn't make an excuse for why they would kill her. Kill him, sure. Or that's not why they're killing him. But she's at risk because her age as a vampire is taboo. Okay. Why? Because she'll tell other people she's fucking 80 years old. But then they find out, they read his thoughts, that he killed one of his own kind. So the retribution for that is that they're going to kill their own kind.
She killed Lestat. That's why they're killing.
He kills Lestat.
That's the nominal reason, is that Claudia kills Lestat.
She was in trouble because of her age. And he was in trouble. He killed Lestat. Claudia was tried, and then the fire happened. That was the death nail, they thought.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it's all very stupid. Like, none of it makes sense. But then that's why I think it's so important that when he welcomes, after all of it, he welcomes Louis onto his coach. And who's driving but the little boy? Mm-hmm. And you can say, yeah, it's probably his fucking blood bag or something. it just as easily because he gives a knowing look to the boy. Like, it's unsettling to him that he still has him. So he's probably like, why is that little kid a vampire if it's not okay?
Yeah.
Because maybe he turned him.
Yeah, it's do what I say, not as I do. I really wanted to.
Worse than that, I gave you a reason to think it was normal that your kid's going to die. Just kidding.
It is a big jumble of
It's jumbled.
reasons, and it all happens so fucking fast. And I'm sure if you've read the books, you can explain all of this away. So, but that really cool moment where the narration comes, I thought once again, my little baby boy, Lestat, I had wronged him. And then Stephen Ray, who can read thoughts, says, why did you wrong Lestat? He's like, oh, fuck, you can hear what I think. Oh, shit. I didn't think that or that or that or that. So Claudia knows that Brad Pitt is now infatuated with Armand. I see where this is going. If he tells you to run away, abandon your daughter, you'll do it. He's like, no, I won't. Yeah, I probably will. So she needs a companion of her own. And she's targeted this Madeline, the doll maker, and needs Brad Pitt to turn her into a vampire because
she doesn't have the strength.
Or
doesn't think she does.
Whatever that means, yeah.
It's just some woman.
So Armand lures Brad Pitt back to his clutches by like, I have answers for you. And he's like, you told me that you didn't have any answers. No, I told you just asked the wrong questions. So he just explains, here's why you're special. You have the stamina for immortality. So few vampires do have that stamina. You know, the world changes, we do not. And then that is what kills us in the end. I need you to be like my liaison with the age that we're in right now. You have the ability. You can go.
You're my boy de jour. They don't really explain. Why doesn't Claudia have the she doesn't want to hang out. Y'all can go fuck. Like, why can't she be part of this? I do not understand that. He's selfish.
Yeah, he does not want any distractions whatsoever.
But you're going to get sick of them. At least Claudia would add a little something.
It's not good long-term thinking.
It's not.
I mean, you're like nimble enough to be able to go and like liaise with the outside world. You know what you are? You're a vampire with a human soul, an immortal with a mortal's passion. And I really think that right there is why I have a problem with this Brad Pitt performance is there's no passion in it whatsoever.
There's just compassion. And that's not passion.
Right.
All right. There's just like, you can talk to humans because you actually sympathize with them, where I come off as an arrogant asshole.
Exactly. Yes.
I mean, I guess that's a skill.
It's a skill, but he's saying passion. Like you have the lust for life that vampires lose. And no, he doesn't.
No, he never gained it. Right. He didn't have it as a fucking mortal.
But if you understand that he's just being a
yes, a love bomber. You're right. A manipulative, like, no, you're so important to me right now. These buffoons, the decadents.
Yeah, they're decadent and useless.
Like he's reading the room. Like if Brad Pitt had been like really into the play, he'd be like, you'd be a star.
Yes.
You'd be my number one boy.
Exactly. Yes.
Right. But because he's like,
these clowns. No, forget about it.
You were disgusted, were you? Let's do something completely different. Let's talk about art.
He says, Louis, you are beautiful. Lestat must have wept when he made you.
Ugh.
Did it hurt when you fell from heaven,
right.
baby? He's doing like, Lestat must have been so cruel. I'd never be cruel to you. And Brad Pitt walks away, and in the narration, he's like, I knew from then on things would be different. Armand would always treat me good, would always give me the answers I was looking for. Yeah.
I'm a special baby boy.
So gets back home, turns the Madeline person into a vampire.
This poor Madeline. She doesn't get even a second of feeling cool as a vampire. She immediately gets taken.
Yeah, exactly. And that's another issue I have is this thing with Madeline feels really rushed. And this actress is doing a good job, but then when she dies with Claudia in the sunlight, it should feel more impactful if you got to spend a little bit more time with them and seeing what they mean to each other.
Right.
But Stephen Ray is leading the vampire mob to get Madeline and Claudia to put them to death and put Louis for an eternity in a coffin.
Upside down. Rude.
Yeah.
In a wall.
And Armand isn't anywhere to be found. Surely he didn't have anything to do with this. But the sun comes out and chars, singes Madeline and Claudia to death. It's very horrific. Pretty cool. But couldn't they have just hidden under their enormous skirts?
Well, that's what I kept thinking. Is like, you could have saved the child, but I guess she was going to turn to ashes anyway, and then the child.
Yeah.
At least this way they go together.
Yeah.
And she gets to live out a fantasy of hers, which was her dying with her daughter.
Oh, you're right. Yes, that's nice. That's nice for her.
I think so.
Armand busts Louis out and he's like, Louis, I heard what they did to you. That is not okay.
Dude. Not cool, guys. I'm so sorry.
And
I'm
Brad
going to
Pitt,
be in a lot of trouble for having to come, they just put up all this brick and mortar.
guys, what did I tell you?
I mean, I'm their leader, but like I am kind of going against protocol. So it's kind of like I stuck my neck out for this. I can't save your daughter too.
Yeah, he says that. I can only save you. I can't save your daughter too.
Look at them. They're already looking at me weird.
The daughter is already turned to ash. And so Louis like, all right, Armand. Okay, now we begin our life together. But first I gotta take out the trash. So he
So
pours.
do you think that, I know he needs to get retribution on these guys, but do you think he's also doing it just in case any of Armand's favorites are in there? In case like, yeah, I am just the boy you like now.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get rid of your other guy that seemed to be your second in command before. So I know you're not just going to toy with me and then go right back to him.
That's too smart. He would never think that.
Okay.
He pours kerosene on everybody while they're sleeping in their coffins and lights the whole place on fire. This is the only thing he knows how to do is burn things down.
That's all he's got.
But as each vampire pops out of their coffin, he has a scythe and just slices them. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then he does like a one-on-one battle with Stephen Ray, but then he very easily slices him in two.
Because he knew he was going to pantomime him. So he reverse mimes. He's like, that guy didn't see that coming.
And then Armand pulls up in a carriage. He's like, hey, get in this carriage with me and my boy. And Brad Pitt hops in. He's like, Armand, I killed all your family. I'm so sorry. And he's like,
rough day.
You made me see their failings, Louis. You really opened my eyes.
Plus, did you see the review in the paper of our show? Dog shit.
So yeah, I need you. You'll be my link to the world. But Louis starts to see, finally is waking up a little bit. Like, I think I've just found another version of Lestat. Just another guy who will be mean to me. And manipulate me and control me, and it's just after my money. So he's like, no, I'm going to go off on my own. By the way, I know what you did. I know that you killed Claudia. And he's like, no, I totally didn't kill Claudia. And he's like, no, you did. And he leaves, and Armand's like, well, fuck.
You killed all my... They all look dumb now.
I got nobody now.
I got this little boy.
He does have the little boy, but it is it's the whole thing. Like, vampires do need companionship. They're still human in that we're social animals. We need somebody. We need a person to connect to. And Brad Pitt has just killed all his people. Out of curiosity, boredom, who knows what, I left the old world and came back to my America. And I finally got to see the sunrise again. It was 1927, a movie directed by F.W. Murnau called Sunrise. Movies sure are magical. We get like a magic of the movies montage. We see Gone with the Wind and Superman.
I'm moved by it because, like, yes, that would bring just the same as it brought life and entertainment. Entertainment is that's why we all watch movies. We can't just talk to each other all the fucking time.
Mm-hmm. And just wait, this thing called video games will be coming one day.
Dude.
That'll take care of you.
He only had like Mario by the time we see him in the 90s or something, but it's not even bad. And then fucking AI and then like virtual reality, and it's like you're not even a vampire anymore.
You won't
guy.
even know it.
In fact, your hours are the same as all the gamers, so you're fine.
Right, exactly. It's 1988 and he's leaving a theater. He's back in New Orleans. He's like, I smell something. Do I smell Lestat?
Old death.
Old
money death.
I love that line. It's old death, too old for mortals to be able to smell it. And he goes into this abandoned house on Britannia Street.
Which somehow there are searchlights that pass by on helicopters for some reason.
I marked a big X in my notebook. New Orleans geography, fuck up. Goes into this old abandoned house with rats and bats. Goes upstairs and then, oh my God, it's Lestat. He's like, Louis, buddy, how have you been?
I'd hoped you'd come. I wish you didn't walk in when I cut a big fart. You smelled it, didn't you? My ghostly stank.
Or like, yeah, just had a rager last night. Got to clean up. Got a really active social calendar going on. But yeah, since he has been, since Louis left him, he's just been a hermit.
Because he fucking horribly disfigured him, so he can't go get any poontang, and he has no money. He fucked him.
As we see with the very
burnt down
end of
the whole fucking fucking town when you left. There were no people. There's no Metairie. There's no Kenner. There's just New Orleans. Now they're all dead, and I'm just a vampire.
He could go find another city.
Like
and as we
that?
See, he eats Christian Slater and turns beautiful again. It's just that if he can't abuse a man, then he loses the will to live and he just retreats. As he says to him, like, if you would just return to me, Louis, I could become the old Lestat again. We could go have fun. We had good times. We were best friends. You know? He's like, Lestat, I forgive you. You're really great and stuff. Yeah. It's like, oh, so you'll stay with me? He's like, no. And then a helicopter buzzes by and it freaks Lestat out. And Louis is like, it's false light. It can't harm you.
But that's like the evidence of like, see, I am the vampire that understands how to grow. I watch TV. I watch the movies. I enjoy when the movies progress. Like, I'm enjoying all this culture, all this change. I have stamina. Where this one's still in his little fucking ruffled shirt, still looking like when I left him, and can't even understand what the fuck lights are. You know, he is not capable of eternity.
Yeah, it's like when your parents ask, like, are you going to watch that new CBS show? And you're like, Dad, come on, man. You think I'm going to be watching linear television?
911, whatever the fuck the show's called.
Please stay. No, I won't stay. This all makes more sense when you realize Louis is lying about all of this. He's making this up to make himself look good.
What is this shot? Okay. It doesn't even look like, so there's, Matt is showing side by side of the two in the car.
Of Tom Cruise and Christian Slater.
Right. Both looking surprised to see each other.
So now we return to the Christian Slater office and Brad Pitt's like, and so like, yeah, that's my story. What'd you think?
Sounds awesome to be a fucking vampire. Turn me now. Oh, daddy, do it. You kidding me?
I gotta have, once again, a person's like, no, that can't be all. There's gotta be more to it. There's gotta be answers.
You're doing it wrong. You have the best fucking lifestyle ever and you don't even enjoy it. Turn me.
Make me a vampire. I gotta know what it's like. I'll be your link to the outside
Until
world.
you do one little thing to me that's kind of vampire-ish. And I'm like, no.
And so Brad Pitt here turns angry and white and gets his fangs out and he's like, I shall kill you if I run for you, motherfucker. And Christian Slater's like, oh shit, I shouldn't have done that. But then Brad Pitt vanishes and Christian Slater's alone in the office and he grabs his tape recorder, runs down to his car. He's a public radio journalist in San Francisco who has this amazing convertible. And he's on the Golden Gate Bridge listening to the audio tape of the interview with the vampire. And he says to himself, he's like, somebody changed my shorts. I just shat them. Oh. And so we hear Brad Pitt's boring voice. He's like, my story began in 1791.
I guess I could start from the time when I was turned out.
Yeah, so Christian Slater, who I think is really, really good right here, he's like lighting a cigarette and he's like, holy shit, this is incredible. Oh, fuck, okay. Wait a minute. And then fucking Tom Cruise is in the car with him. And
Lestat, I just heard all about you.
I assume I need no introduction. He bites the shit out of his neck.
Armand? I'm not Armand.
And very quickly, like in camera, his face changes and he becomes more Tom Cruise-like. Mm-hmm. And he says, I feel better already. And he takes control of the car. We see his hands on the steering wheel. And then we see Tom Cruise pulling the lace out from under his sleeves.
Yes. Just, need to look. He's wearing a jean jacket and lace.
Uh-huh.
He's like, I refuse.
He needs a little bit of coaching, but he's going to be all right. Mm-hmm. And he hears Louis talking on the tape. And he's like, oh, mother, Louis, still whining. I've had to listen to this bullshit for centuries. And he changed. What else is on? He changes it to the rock and roll station.
See, who's keeping up now, bitches? You answered your question, though, of why it's Interview with the Vampire. It's because it's from the perspective of the interview. I interview her with the cook, interview her with the man on the street, interview. You know what I mean? Like, it's the story that he's writing. And it's, oh, that was the teacher.
The butcher, the baker. The crossing guard,
I mean,
the vampire.
He's not interviewing a ton of vampires. He's not like a fucking researcher.
No, you're right.
I know.
It's Sympathy for the Devil, the Guns N' Roses version. I guess they couldn't afford the Rolling Stones version. You know. That's the only quibble I have with. I love this ending. And I was convinced this had to have been done in reshoots. Because this is not how the book ends. The book ends with Christian Slater being like, I gotta go find Lestat in New Orleans. And he goes looking for him.
I gotta go smelling for the old fart death.
But like Lestat doesn't reappear at the end of the story. But I mean, this screamed to me like test screening said audiences need Tom Cruise to come back. But no, they wrote this ending. And yeah, He just listens to Sympathy for the Devil and
When did that song come out? The remake.
oh, I don't know, probably early 90s.
It makes sense why that's on the radio and not the older one.
You could hear a Rolling Stone song on the radio.
Matt, it's
Lacey.
all about going through the decades. He's in a jean jacket.
I get it, but this is a very specific
No.
song. And the thing about Sympathy for the Devil is it is a song that sounds like evil to me.
And the thing about
fun
this,
evil.
the thing about this movie is taking what you have and making it new again. So it makes perfect sense to do a remake of a song rather than the original song.
All right, there you go.
God, I have to explain everything to this fucking ancient being.
Do you like this ending?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I want like them to then like get. I want him to turn him and him be like, "You're my fun dude, yeah, Shaka bra, let's go kill all the babes." That's what I want.
It's like, it's not like it's literally saying change everything you think. It's not like, hey, nothing you watched up until now was fake. It's not that, but it is like a I don't know. It is all a matter of perspective.
Well, because they go by and they're flying around and they got like one babe in each hand and like one of those beer hats where like, you know, you're slurping the blood or whatever, and they're partying, and then you see Louis like, guys, that's what I want. That's the ending I want. Or Louis just like, God damn it.
But he's still
I
in the
accidentally
frat
turned
somehow.
one. Right. Well, you gotta have the fucking panty waist. You gotta have the one you don't like.
I'm trying to study. I've got tricks.
We're out of TP.